First of all, wearing my Issa Rae Rooting for Everybody Black shirt with my African print skirt. Last day of Black History Month. Let's go! So, anyway, I wanted to talk about knowing your worth because I'm in a situation where somebody gave me a business proposal. They want me to help them manage their business. It's artist type work. So they want me to help. They've seen what I do with my business and they're like, you're well connected, people know you, you're in the space, all of that. And so they want me to help them kind of manage stuff, invoicing, talking to prospective partners and all of that kind of stuff. And I am good at that. That's my skill set. I'm learning that I do that quite well. And so, they're recognizing that, and I've worked with this person before. But also, like, when you think about certain opportunities that are coming your way, this is just something that I've wrestled with the last couple of days. And so I really wanted to share this, is that, number one, knowing your worth, knowing what you come to the table with, and then pricing it accordingly. And don't just be like, I think this is what it's worth. Okay, hold on. Beta test it, right? Ask people who know. Ask people who are in the same space. Ask people who are doing that current work, right? Even if it's somebody you don't know, but on Instagram, you just DM them and be like, hi, I got a couple questions for you about business stuff. Do you have a second? And just shooting them some questions and being like, what do you think about X, Y, and Z? And ask a couple people, because, one person, it's that person's experience. A bunch of people, it's like, okay, if I average it out between these people, this feels like the truth. This feels like the middle ground in between all the answers, right? So do your research. Lastly, does it align with your values? I was like asking myself, does this opportunity take me where I want to go? Just because I get opportunities, oh my goodness, yay, you want me. That's so nice. But like, do you want it? It wants you. Do you want it? Because you certainly do not have to want it. You do not have to take it. And I think that's an interesting thing to think about. Because I think especially women too, sometimes we just enjoy being wanted. Oh, that guy really likes me. Okay, but do you like him? That matters too. So anyway, because like being without that opportunity, will you be any less? Probably not. You'll be your amazing, magnificent self, but you'll have more energy and more power to pour into the things that you already chose for yourself. And so that's what I'm asking myself, would this opportunity bring me where I want to go? And I don't know about that. Like, sometimes you can't project what will happen. But when I look at myself building somebody else's career, I think about what I'm working on right now that I would have more energy to pour into. And maybe I'm pulled back too much on the things that I'm doing right now. Maybe I need to ramp it up. If I have extra energy to be thinking about building somebody else's career, maybe I need to ramp up what I'm doing for myself. And there's nothing wrong with being selfish, honestly. Like, I'm a woman, early 40s, no kids. What else am I doing but being selfish? It's amazing. Some people be putting people down that have no kids. They'd be like, what do y'all do with yourself if you're not raising kids? I'll tell you what, I'm shaking things up. It's a lot of fun. And I teach kids and I love kids, but I ain't got no kids. So I'm gonna live my life. So just saying, when something invites itself kind of into your sphere and you're thinking about pulling it into your inner circle, am I gonna really delve into this, even if it's 5 or 10 hours a month? Because I was like, what if I just did 5 to 10 hours a month? And I was like, didn't you just forget to post an ad about this? And now tomorrow is the thing. And like, people don't know about it. Maybe you should get on your own business and get your stuff promoted the way it should be, to make sure my money is better than it already is, right? So like, I'm going back and forth asking myself, what do I want? Because all we have is time. I can't buy more time. Nobody gets more time. And so I'm gonna leave you with this. Think about how you're bringing money into your life. And not everything's about money, but I gotta tell you, money equals freedom, okay? They say money didn't buy, any happiness. Okay, but money bought a lot of freedom to go explore and find you're happy. So like, whatever. I'd like to try it. Don't take that away from me. Anyway, think about your money situations. So for me, I heard somebody say something that it really stuck with me, and I started thinking about that. They said, trading time for money is no longer interesting to me. And I thought that was powerful because I was like, what am I doing? So when I create art, I'm creating art because I want to, and then people end up buying it. But the great thing about art is that it appreciates. You buy a car, it depreciates. It's worth less after you buy it, so you're losing money, right? With art, it's not that way. You put money into art, the next year it's worth more because that artist is still creating, and the piece you got during that period of their creation is now worth possibly double from what it was before. Somebody who bought my friend Corky's artwork, what is it, maybe 10 years ago? Now these pieces are worth $9,000 each. And they did not pay $9,000, but what they have is now worth more, and it will continue to rise in price so long as Quirky is alive, and when he dies, it's probably worth more. I'm just saying. So when I sell pieces and I'm talking to collectors about what my work is worth and what it will be worth, it's a different conversation because I will be able to charge more and more and more because my skill level is higher, my work is more powerful, my work is poignant, all of that. And so when I'm spending time on my art and then I sell it, it's a different feel. And the same thing with my teaching. I am not trading necessarily time for money. I'm working for that pension so that when I'm older, I'm taken care of and it's all wrapped up in a pretty little bow. There's really only like 3 specific careers that come with a really good pension. And apparently teachers are now risking their lives. So I was like, firefighters and police, I would never want to be one because yikes. And then I'm like, well, I guess I'm not in a similar situation, but there's some, dangers with being a teacher. I thought it was a safe space, but whatever. Anyway, I'm there for the pension as well. So yes, I get a check. It's great. It takes the pressure off of selling my art. However, I'm really there for retirement. That way I'm taken care of. When I finally retire, I'm good financially. So I'm just saying, think about what sort of price structure makes sense to you. And then the last thing, sorry, I said that other thing was the last thing. The last thing, I learned this from like a podcast or something. They said, if you're going to quit, come to the table. If you're going to turn down an offer, come to the table with something outrageous. This is what it would take to keep me. Right? And I'm not saying I'm not going to take the offer. I'm just saying it's something that was rolling around in my mind that if I'm going to say no, and that person feels desperate, it's a sales strategy. Because I'm also like, do I really want this? Right? So if I'm going to come to the table and possibly say no, what is my strategy to be like, this is what it would take to keep me? Because that person might really want you for that role, at least temporarily, right? At least maybe 2 months or something. You could say, this is the amount for 2 months, and then it will shift to this. Because I also think like, if I get paid what I'm worth, it may not be what that person has a vision for themselves financially, and I respect anybody's vision for themselves. If that's not something you want to pour into talent like mine, I get it, because you might not fully grasp what you get if you get me. I'm going to promote you. I know curators, I know people, but it's also like, you don't always know what you're getting with the other person either. If you hear stories or somebody's reputation isn't great, that's another thing. That's one thing I tell my partner, because I was like, technically I'm managing his company and my company, and I'm a teacher, and I'm running my art company. What? I'm taking on another company? No, think about it. But like, I always tell my partner, I'm like, listen, we get one shot. Every time somebody takes one of our tours, we have to be on. It has to be everything, because those people take the memory of those 2 hours, and that's their entire experience of our company. And we really want them, oh my goodness, that company, I took one tour, it was magical, I learned so much. I still remember the stories, right? Like, you really want them to be on it and to be a fan. Not everybody's going to be a big fan. They'll be like, oh, I learned some stuff, whatever. But if they're into what we're talking about, they're going to come alive for it. So I always think about that too, that the relationships you build with your network and with the community are very important. And if you step on toes and you don't care, that stuff travels. They talked about that with America's Next Top Model. Tyra would be like, if you are a difficult model, you better be the superstar model then. Like, you better be the woman nobody can book because she's always booked. And then if you're difficult, it's okay because you're a star. And if you're not, you better be humble. And so I try to stay humble, be excellent, and to build relationships. Because those 3 tiers, people miss 1 or 2. And then people be talking about them like, oh, you talk about that person? Nah, I'm not working with them because this happened last time, right? We learn. I do the same thing. If I have difficulty working with somebody, I'll be like, okay, this is going to be the last time because this isn't the vision I see for myself. I need to work with people that understand that there's decorum and there's etiquette and there's ways of interacting in community that are honoring to one another's humanity. And if somebody doesn't understand that, it may not be somebody that you want in your inner circle, maybe your outer circle, right? So these are all questions we need to ask ourselves when opportunities come our way, whether it's in the dating world, whether it's in business. That's super important because you don't want to invite toxicity or chaos into those circles. And when you do, then you need to eradicate it and be like, listen, this isn't working out. We wish you all the best, but this doesn't align with how we do business. And I hope you find a space where you can be your best self, because here ain't it. So, yeah.